this session is not the most important session of your life. It is not about finding your purpose. It is not about happiness. It is about financial wealth. And financial wealth is just a tool. It's something we use and not something we allow to use us. We are not to be slaves to money, but we are meant to master money, which means we control it. Wealth is also immoral. So like any other tool, a hammer, for instance, a hammer in the hands of a good workman will produce wonderful constructions. A hammer in the hand of a psychopath can do harm to a person. The hammer was neither good or bad. The people are good or bad. So money in the hands of a good person will do good things. And money in the hands of a bad person can do bad things. So this session, whilst not the most important one of your life, is a very useful one for your life. Because this session is about helping you become a better user of your finances. For this session, also known as money. Let's look at this. How many people here will say they know something about investing in businesses? Raise your hands up, please, if you do anything about investing in businesses. Not experts. You know something about investing in businesses. All right. So I haven't got too much time. I'm not going to be taking questions, but I'm going to be asking questions, and I need you to respond and give me feedback. So those who said they know something about investing in businesses, remember yourselves. Interaction. Anyone here have an old pound coin? And yes, you want to swap it for a new pound coin? You have it on you now. Do you have an old pound coin? I can give you a new pound coin if you have it. The first person to bring it gets the new pound coin. Great. Whilst we're finding out who's going to get my new pound coin, who here knows what their net worth is? Everyone gets the new pound coin. Thanking you. You're welcome. Who here knows what their net worth is? Raise up your hands, please, if you know what your net worth is. Okay. I said not much time, so I take it no one at the moment. All right. Great. Anyone here have a £2 coin and wants £4? First person obviously gets it. Doesn't have to be a £2 coin. It can be two £1 coins. No credit, cash only. Anyone? First person will get it. Whilst that is happening, you have to bring it to me, please. Let me see your £2. Thank you. £2, £4. There you go.
Thank you.
Thanking you. You're welcome, ma'am. Okay. People who know about investing in businesses, can you please fire at me some of the things you look for when you decide you want to invest in businesses? Return. Oh, my Lord. Fantastic. Amazing. Hit jackpot. Anyone else? What do we look at when we're investing in businesses? And sorry? People. You guys are on point today. What was that? Sustainability. Fantastic. Yes? Profit. Amazing. You guys are... Whew, too good. Too good. I love it. Okay. Thanking you. Great. Okay. Anyone have a £5 note? You want £10? Oh, wow. You are, you are on point. Thanking you. Okay. This is good. The money's staying in the house. God bless you, my wife. Hey. Amazing. Who knew? Hey, like minds, eh? I say when you spend a long time with someone, you start getting in sync. I say, women, you guys know how to get in sync. You say, husband and wives, we know how to get in sync. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. All right, so you got your £5 or £10. Anyone want to give me £20? Anyone giving me £20? For what? Oh, gosh. Great, great, great. See? Oh, I might as well go home now. Thanking you for what? What are the terms of the deal? Great. God bless you. Good. Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. You don't need to go further than that. People are on point. I think you can tell these are students of normal sessions. I do not have £40 for you, ma'am. I do not have £40 for you. You passed the test. You passed the test. Great. Okay. Return, profitability, people, risk, profit. The things we look for when we're running business, when we're looking to invest in businesses. And investing in a business is pretty much giving business money. This is giving business finances to say, here you go, have some cash, do something with it. So this is the focus of my session today. How do we run our lives? Do we run our lives as businesses? Or do we run our lives as hobbies? Because you see, by my assessment, the reason we have a lot of struggles with finances is because we don't run our lives like we're running a profitable venture. We run our lives as hobbies, enjoyment, excitement, consumerism, to consume, not to create, not looking to add value, not looking to produce anything, not looking to manufacture anything, not looking to give any goods, not looking to give any services. So, is there any surprise that money, finances, aren't being invested in you? Or any surprise that you are not able to hang on to that which you have because you are not creating anything else, adding no value? Finances, as I mentioned, are a tool. It will not give you happiness because we know of rich people who are unhappy and depressed. We know of rich people who commit suicide. It will not find your purpose for you. You have to do that. But we know it's still important because one of the main reasons for couples getting divorced is financial matters. So we know it's an important part of our lives. It is the currency of the world we live in. So if we're not able to manage it and use it appropriately, it gives us troubles. It gives us headaches. It gives us stress. Pretty much reduces the quality of our lives because a lot of us are focused on it. But businesses that are successful pay attention to their finances. They manage their finances. How? The main things they have: accounts. They have big financial departments. They have financial analysts. They have all sorts of focus on their financial performance. And what do they use? They use their accounts. What are the two most important accounts? It's their profit and loss account and their balance sheet. These are the two single most important financial statements in a business. And what makes up those two accounts? Income, expenses, assets, liabilities. The four things that make an income statement and a balance sheet. But what does the average person focus on? Income. The average person spends his whole life focusing on income. Money, money, money. Is there a problem with that? Maybe. Why? Because that's only a quarter of the four things I mentioned. I had a discussion with my friends recently, and we were talking about money. A lot of us, I think, a lot of us are in our jobs mainly for money. If you are given a lot of money, you probably will quit your job, a lot of us will say. How many people will quit their job if they got a lot of money? Raise hands up. Only 2 people will quit their job if they got a lot of money? 3. All right, only a few people. I thought a lot more people. So I think a lot of us have found our purpose. Money is not going to take us out of our jobs. All right, of the people who will quit their jobs if they got a lot of money, how much money? Is 1 million enough? Can you raise your hands up if 1 million is enough? Okay, only to quit your job. Yeah, 1 is enough. Yeah. Pounds sterling. All right. Okay, let's focus on those who aren't able to raise their hands up for 1 million. Who is not able to do 1 million? 1 million is not enough. Anyone? To quit your job. Okay. Why is 1 million not enough? Give me examples why. Just there's something that's come to your mind. It just isn't. It just isn't. Okay. All right. It will finish eventually. Okay, great. I'll go back to the conversation I had with my friends and the things that were mentioned. Obviously, I have to buy a nice car. I have to buy a nice house. Holidays, send the kids to private school. The list goes on. I think we all know where that list goes. So that's not enough for 1 million. I've spent the 1 million in a few months. Okay. What examples do we have of where income is not enough? Lottery winners are multimillionaires. 70% of lottery winners are broke now. 30% bankrupt. Mike Tyson made 300 million, bankrupt. Johnny Depp, 650 million in financial distress. NFL players in their careers make millions, literally. 80% of them, a few years after retirement, are in financial distress. So these are people who all have more money than the average person, well, I was going to say can dream of, but I think we find it easy to dream about money, so dreaming is not the problem. So yeah, the average person can't dream of it, but generally we will only have that in their dreams. But yet, it's still not enough. And why is that? Because income is only a quarter of those 4 things I mentioned to you. And we can't live our lives focusing on income alone. Expenses. Expenses are pretty much what we spend our money on a day-to-day basis, what we live on. But a lot of people still don't pay any attention to their expenses. The starting point and the most simple thing we obviously discussed is a budget. If you don't have a budget, then you do not know how your expenses are set out against your income. And the average person is in deficit because their expenses outweigh their income. And if an average person is in deficit, by our business description, the average person is a loss-making business. Expenses are, I think I've mentioned it before, an unruly child. If you do not put it under control, it will easily go in a wayward manner. You must subject your expenses to your control if you want financial success. I look around this room and the income in this room, earnings of each of the individuals ranges probably from £10,000 a year to £100,000 a year. But yet, whichever spectrum that is, each person will probably say, they're under financial stress, so it's not enough. But there's someone living on £10,000. Let's leave that. Let's go for the minimum wage. Well, actually, that's going Leeds. The Leeds average wage, £20,000. There's someone living on £20,000, and it's not enough, but they are living, maybe slightly in deficit. And you have someone living on £100,000, still not enough, and in deficit. The difference there, or the similarity, is the not enough, but there's a difference in income. So why is it that no matter how much we earn, we always find expenses to use it on? It's just natural that we desire more. We want more. We enjoy more. If we can't make that active step to keep our expenses 1 or 2 steps beyond, lower than our income, we will always be in a deficit. Because that's just naturally the case. But no business runs on what I'll call expenses that have no purpose. If I told you I was a business and all my income or all my earnings, all my turnover, my sales are spent on business entertainment or flashy cars for my staff, chances are you don't invest in me. Because the question is, what is the purpose of 100% of your turnover being spent on client entertainment? It means there's no profit. There's no purpose to that. But we go around our daily lives and we spend without asking myself, what is the purpose of that expenditure? I buy an iPhone X, £1,000. For what reason? What value has it added? What profit has it given into your life? Are you an IT professional who uses that to create more wealth? Or are you just a student with no income, using it to make phone calls and send WhatsApp messages? Every smartphone does that. Meaning, there was no purpose to that expenditure. That's not how you run a business. Do not invest in businesses that spend with no purpose. Now we move over to the balance sheet. This is where we talked about assets and liabilities. The average person has no assets. Slightly below average. The average person probably has a house. No, actually not the average. Above average person has a house. I think the 30% homeowners in the UK. So the average person doesn't have a house. Correct myself. Which means the average person probably has no assets. But we're talking about financial wealth. The wealthy have assets. But if you're living a life of deficit, you cannot acquire assets. The whole purpose of controlling your expenses is to give you a surplus which can be diverted into acquiring assets, which is how we live a practically wealthy life. Wealth is the abundance of something. You can't have an abundance of your money if you spend all your money. The only way you have an abundance of money is to invest money, is to set money aside. I try to avoid the word saving there because I find saving is not the greatest use of money. Saving in a bank account, that is, because the rate of return is a lazy man's feast. If you're running a business, you're not looking for lazy return. You're looking for good return. And good return requires work. Good return requires the use of your talent, the use of your gifts. He who returns the most gets the most, and he who returns the most keeps the most. He who returns the least is generally classed as the lazy one. Risk in mind. Touch on that later, maybe. So assets. What are assets? Assets are the things you control or you own that give you an ongoing or future economic value or economic return. So I buy a Rolex. You cannot judge what the purpose of that Rolex is if you do not know why I bought the Rolex. Person A can buy that Rolex as an asset that appreciates in value. Person B bought a Rolex to flash it around and use it anyhow to depreciate its value. So that's just my way of saying the purpose of your spending is a personal thing for you to decide and for you to assess. Some people buy wines that appreciate in value. Some people buy wines to drink. One is a consumption, and the other is an asset. Assets are things like shares, stocks, property, bonds, businesses. But the average person doesn't touch any of that in their lifetime because the average person hasn't gone through stage one, expense control. Liabilities. Debt. Some people say there's no such thing as good debt. All debt is bad. Well, I beg to differ because again, debt is a tool in the hands of a bad person, which most average people are bad at handling debt. It is a bad thing. But in the hands of the financially enlightened, debt is a tool that can be used to acquire more wealth. But you cannot give that advice to the average person because the average person does not have the capability to handle that debt. And the average person's definition of debt is credit card debt to consume. Again, no creation of value, no return. Businesses, as we mentioned, are run based on return. If you cannot make return out of an output or an input, then you are destroying value. Debt on credit cards costs 10%, 20% range. That's the cost of your capital. If what you use that debt for gives you nothing that returns more than the cost of that capital, then you are a loss-making business. And the average person is a loss-making business because the debt is spent on living expenses, zero return. Zero return, 20% cost of capital, 20% loss upfront. Loss-making business, which is why debt is not for your living expenses, which is why it's bad debt in the hands of the average person. The average person lives on debt. You do not live on debt. You create wealth with debt. But do not even try it if you are not educated on it, because it's a dangerous tool not to be taken lightly, or used lightly, I should say. I'm out of time. So, we'll round this up quickly. First, I can't give me just 25 minutes now. Okay. What is it that the wealthy do? Some people say luck. I don't call it luck. It's being ready to take the opportunities that come our way. Those who had the pound coin, the £2, The £5 were those who were prepared for the opportunity to come their way. The rich are prepared, attentive to the opportunity, eyes open, ears open, and they take action. Some people here had the pound coin and £2 coins, but they weren't able to take the action to come forward to get the return. Many opportunity out there, but you only find it if you're looking for it and attentive to it. And you can only engage it if you're prepared for it. And you only realize it when you take action. If I told you I had 500,000 to give you and you had to give me 250,000 pounds now, how many people can do that? Maybe no one. Why? Because you're not prepared for it. You're not prepared for the 500,000 pound opportunity to come your way. If I told you I'd give you £1 million and you could quit your job, you might say it's not enough. But I say it depends on what you're trying to achieve. How much are you earning? £1 million working for you probably gives you more than you're earning. Give me £1 million. I expect I'll be getting at least £80,000 a year in return without touching the £1 million. And the £1 million keeps growing every year. So I get a pay rise of my £1 million. Why is that? Because the lottery winners get a big windfall, and the first thing is spend it, consume it. The mindset of the wealth is put it to work. How do I get return of what I have? And then we say, I do not have enough. I'm not earning enough. But I say, but you're paying tax. You're not earning enough. Why don't you keep the tax then? It's compulsory. Oh, but you can still live whilst paying tax. Why then can't you live whilst paying yourself tax and storing money away? If the average person in Leeds is earning £20,000, getting about £1,400 a month, and the average person pay themselves a tax of just 10% and invested that 10% away, £140, getting a rate of return of, say, 10% a year. In 30 years, just that £140 a month of tax you managed to put away, was that your Sky bill, your iPhone, your night outs every other week. 30 years, £140 a month, 10% return, you're getting over £300,000 back. Which means you're probably fine for retirement. Not really, not me, I wouldn't be. I need more than that probably. Add more, 20%, £280 a month. It's just saying, if you get to that stage where you can put away £500 a month, you are almost likely going to be able to retire a millionaire. Just £500 a month, assuming you don't even get pay rises over 30 years of working. I think Brother Issa will touch on that, but if you go 30 years without trebling your income, then you need help. Seek it. Thank you.